Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I am so glad to be back. I am so sorry about Monday's upload, but I am back. I am done school. Please give me a big round of applause. I am so excited. I finally have time to breathe and get my Christmas up. If you guys are new, I would love it if you become part of the family and stick around by clicking the red subscribe button and then tapping the bell and all to be notified every single time I upload. Also, I have a new intro. Let me know what you guys think. And for today, I remade this little Dollar Tree calendar and I made a kissing ball with a little box. So with all that being said, let's jump right into today's DIYs.
Let's go to the ocean. Yeah, let's go outside. We can hang out on the beach without freezing.
Hey guys, so to start off, I have this foam ball and I think I got it from Walmart. I had it in my stash. I have so much stuff, you guys know how I do. So I really just shopped my stash for this stuff. So I have these two different greens. I will leave the colors in the description box below, but the darker one was a bit too dark and the lighter one was a bit too light. So I just put them in a little paint pan and I just mixed them up really good. And I gave the ball a nice coat. And first I stuck this skewer, I'm just showing you here. These are boxwoods. They're 97 cents. They're really full and they're from Walmart. I love them because you get a lot of greenery. But I just stick this skewer right through the ball just so that way when I'm painting this ball, it would be much easier to hold. So again, I just give this ball a really good coat. Sometimes when you just brush it, it doesn't go in the little holes, so you just want to dab it. Next, I take my little wood pieces for our kissing ball box and I will leave all the measurements down below. My husband, my sweet husband, he actually designed this, you guys. He was all excited. He came in, he said, look, you can make this for your channel. So all the credit goes to him for this little box. Again, he designed it and he was just so excited to have me make it for my channel. So this one's for him. So after I sanded them all down, I just took my handy dandy tool. I will leave the link in the description box to this vacuum. I get a bunch of questions, so I'll leave it down there. So next I had two eye hooks and I had these eye hook pack laying around. And I just screwed it into the bottom piece and then I'm going to take it out. I just wanted to get the hole in there. That way, once we have it all put together and painted, it would be much easier to get it through the bottom. After I take that eye hook back out, I just go ahead with my Gorilla Glue and I assemble my little kissing ball box house, whatever you want to call it. I am so excited to make this, you guys. Again, I'm just so grateful to have a husband that thinks about me in this way, and he just wanted to make something really nice that I could make on my channel for you guys. He knows how much I enjoy YouTube and I enjoy all you guys. Honestly, this does take time away from my family, commenting and filming. It's not like a regular, vlog channel where you get to vlog your life. So other than editing, you're not really taking too much time away from your family. But with a crafting channel, you have to take time away because you're sitting down doing your crafts and you got to film. So you got to get, make sure you have the right angle, and it's just a lot that goes into it. But he doesn't mind because he knows how much I love all you guys and crafting and my YouTube channel. So anyway, I just put glued the sides on the sides, and then the actual shape of the house pieces, I don't know what you want to call it, those went inside of the two side pieces. If that doesn't make much sense, you can see what I'm doing here. But after I had that all glued together, I then put a really nice coat for the roof. I stuck one side of the roof down and then I glued the top piece of the roof on the other side. And you can see that I almost didn't do that, but I realized that I had to glue this piece right here, and then I just stick that right back on and I set it aside to dry. So next I have 2 bunches of this boxwood. You can get away with doing 2 bunches, but I had an extra one laying around and I wanted mine to be really full. So I ended up using about 2.5 to 3 bunches. So for these bunches, you want to cut them down in 3. There's 6, or yeah, there's 6 layers, I guess you can call it, and I cut them into 2 layers, if that makes sense. So I just cut really close down the stem. I can't really explain it, but you can see what I'm doing. But I cut down enough so that way I would have enough stem to stick into the ball. So while my ball and my house are drying, you guys know how I do. I like to switch back and forth projects. So the other day I was at Dollar Tree and I saw these really cool calendar, yeah, I don't know, calendar, whatever you want to call it. But I haven't seen these before. These are new. They were in the section for like last minute gifts. I've seen people haul them, but I never seen them in my store. So anyway, I just go in the back and I mark in the middle and then I just draw a circle. At first I started to cut it and I didn't realize it wasn't filming. So I just went back and retraced over my cuts just so that way you guys could see what I was doing. After I have my circle traced out, you can use a lid, whatever you want to use. I just drew a simple circle. It doesn't come out perfect, but it is what it is. So I just go around the back and I just keep going around and around in a circle with my knife. And then once it starts to pierce through the front where I can see it, I go to the front and I just score that because it's like paper on the front. So I didn't want the paper to like rip. And I tried to push it through. It wasn't quite ready. So I just went in the back again, scored it some more, and it popped right out. Easy peasy. Next, I take my little mini sander. I get questions on this too. I got this one at Walmart in the tool section where they have the electric sanders. And I just go ahead and sand out the edges, and also the edges of the calendar itself were a little rough. So I did just clean that up, and I just did it to my liking until I was satisfied. Now I wouldn't worry too much because we're going to be covering this anyway. But next I just take some white Waverly chalk paint and my chalk paint brushes. I really love these, you guys. You can get them at Walmart, but I just gave the whole thing a coat of white. I then took out a N, E, and L. These are letters from Dollar Tree, and I give those a really good coat of black, and I do around the edges as well. Now, originally I was going to do the music part for this because, you know, the song Noel, Noel. You guys like my singing, but that's what it reminded me of. And so I was going to do the music notes, but after I had traced it out and I was going to, I was flipping it around to glue it, and I noticed that I actually really like the other side. So after I have this traced and cut out, I just take my knife and I put a slit in the middle, and then I cut the middle out. Next, I have this bell from Dollar Tree. This came in a pack of, I don't even know how many, but I had this floral wire. I just strung the floral wire through, cut it, and then I get it to the length that I want, and I just twist it on the top, kind of like a bread tie. And then once I twist it a few times, I make sure it's secure, and I just snip off the excess wire and then push the edge down to the back so that way you can't see it. So after I have my bell on, I had this red, just the scrap piece of ribbon, and I just cut it for the sides. I measured and cut it. Next, I take my scrapbook paper, I glue the back side with a glue stick, and I press that down firmly. You can wiggle this around for like a few seconds or maybe like a minute before it's actually really stuck down good. So make sure you have it in place before you move on to the next step. After I have that glued down, I then go ahead and glue my little pieces of ribbon. I just thought that this would make a really nice addition to this and cover up those plain sides, and this ribbon is just so Christmassy. I love it. I got this ribbon at Walmart. I think it was like $2 for a roll. Don't quote me, but definitely a good deal because those rolls do have quite a bit of ribbon on them. But the edges were fraying, so I just went ahead and cut the edges. Next, we're going to glue our letters down, and originally I was going to glue them to the back, but after I had switched the print to the little red truck, I realized that it would look much better glued to the front. So I just glue the edge of the N down. I then do the same for the E, and then for the L, I actually glue the L to the back of the E, and just so that way it would spell out no L. So I just put a few little dabs on the edge of the E, and then I just attach that together. So after I have my NEL attached, I just get my glue strings out. Those pesky glue strings get me every time. I had this little Christmas tree left over from, I'm pretty sure I got these at Bullseye's Playground, and I just glued that to the end just to make it look a bit more even. I then just made a simple bow out of the same ribbon that I used for the sides, and I glue that to the top, and that is it, you guys. I am so happy with the way this turned out. I've seen some recreations of this, but nothing like this. I like to try to be as original as possible, so I wanted to do something different, and I'm so glad that I stepped out of my comfort zone because I was a bit nervous to do that. Let me know what you guys think. Next, my little house box is dry. So I just mark my popsicle sticks. These are large popsicle sticks. I just hold them up to the roof to see how long I want them. I like it to have a bit of overhang. If you don't like that, that's totally up to you. You can cut it the size of the roof, or I mean, you don't even really need these. I just thought that it would add a bit more dimension and character. So originally I had cut 8 large popsicle sticks and then 1 in half. In the end, I needed 2 more, so I would suggest to cut down 10, and I painted them all black. So I then go ahead with my little mini sander, and I just sand off the excess wood glue that had seeped out. I have learned that if you wipe it, it doesn't come off as easily, but if you just wait until it all dries, it will sand right off and it'll be no big deal. So I just give this entire house a really nice coat of the white Waverly chalk paint, and I go around the whole house, even the roof, even though you're not going to be able to see it. I just wanted to make sure that I had it covered just in case. So now we're going to cover our ball. So I had just used the same skewer, and for the ends that actually connect to the stems on your pick, they're a bit wider. So you're going to have to use the skewer to poke a hole and kind of wiggle it around in a circle. You can see what I'm doing. And it just goes in much, much easier. So because you have to wiggle around to get them in there, they're not always really secure. So I just take a dab of hot glue in the hole. If it feels a bit loose, that's all you have to do, and it stays really nicely. Now for the cut pieces after the edge, if that makes any sense. Those stick right into this ball. They're nice and tight, so you don't have to worry about it going anywhere. It's mainly for the end pieces of the stems that you need to use the skewer to poke a hole. I'm not going to lie, you guys, this did take me a good bit of time, but that's just because I'm really picky and I wanted this to be really, really full. I had these basically right next to each other. You don't have to do this. You're not going to be able to tell because we painted this ball, but again, that's just my personal preference. But I just turned on some TV and I just watched TV while I was doing it. Next, I had this berry bunch from Dollar Tree, and I just cut berries off. There was no rhyme or reason. I didn't do any specific amount in one cluster. I just kind of cut, and I wanted it to be a bit different so that it would look more realistic. Next, I just take my berries and I just glue my berries randomly all the way around. Now, some mistletoe kissing balls I've seen white, some I've seen red, but I wanted mine to be really Christmassy, so that's why I went with the red. But if you like white better, just get white berries, and you can use white, you can use both, or you don't need any at all. It's totally up to you. Let me know in the comments down below which color you would put on your kissing ball. Next, I have this red buffalo check ribbon, and I have seen this at Dollar Tree. It's just much thinner. I ran out of it because I've only ever seen them have it at Valentine's Day, so I did get this at Walmart. I just have this little tiny screw, and all you need to do is just poke it in the edge going through both sides, and then you just find a spot in your kissing ball and you just press it down, and voila, you have a perfect little hanger for your kissing ball. I then made a bow out of the same ribbon, and I just stick that to the edge of the handle. I was going to put a bow on both sides, but it did not look right, so I did just only put a bow on one side. So after I have this bow glued down, I then go ahead and work back on my house. So for the roof pieces, I just go ahead and run a bead of hot glue. I start at the edge because I want the two top pieces to meet just like a roof would. So I just run a bead of hot glue and then stick one down. I then just run another bead of hot glue at the edge of the popsicle stick I already put down, and then I glue the next down, and I continue that on one side, and then I go ahead to the other side and do the same thing. Now here's where your extra popsicle sticks are going to come in handy. I thought I would only need these little half pieces, but it ended up that I did need a whole piece. So I just glued those down, and then I just took my black ink Waverly chalk paint and I just painted them, as well as the edges. I would definitely recommend to paint both sides of your popsicle sticks. Next, I had already had these holly berry wreaths in my stash. I was going to use them on something else, and I never did, so I figured that they would be perfect for this project. So I put these on the edges of both sides just to cover up those flaws. I guess when I glued it, it wasn't even. It is what it is. It doesn't bother me. But I have these letter stickers from Dollar Tree, and I just go ahead and spell out Kiss Me on both sides. My husband suggested that I put like X's and O's and big hearts and stuff like that, but I thought that it would feel more like Valentine's Day. So you can put whatever saying you want on this box. It's yours to choose. You can do it exactly how I did. You can do different colors. Like I always say, that's the beauty of DIY. I'm just here to inspire and motivate your creativity, and then you can do with my ideas what you will. I then just take my red paint pen and I just put little hearts around the word kiss me. It looked a bit plain, so I wanted to give it a bit of character. I then made 2 more bows and I put both one bow in between each wreath on each side of my little house. I then just ducktail the ends, and I am so happy with this, you guys. I then put a eye hook in the middle on the top, right in between those roof pieces, and it worked out just fine. So please let me know what you guys think. I am so excited to be back. I love you guys so much, each and every one of you. Thank you for being patient through this semester and me being really busy, but I am excited to focus on you guys and my channel. Sorry I'm not decorated for Christmas. It is what it is. I haven't had a single second to even breathe, but I definitely am going to get it up this weekend. If you're not following me on Instagram, the link is in the description box below. I share a lot of different things over there that don't get over here to YouTube, so definitely give me a follow and let me know what you guys think in the comments down below, and I'll catch you guys next time. Bye.
I am on my way, I'm in motion. Let's go to the ocean. Yeah, let's go out.